So I'm confident that he'll come and confident that he'll share his perspective.
Well,
let's go here first.
You have expressed concern, Mr. Chair, about this new vaccine advisory panel. You called for it to be indefinitely postponed. They are meeting tomorrow. What concerns do you have, and do you still stand by
I've expressed those in the past. I've expressed those in the past. So I have nothing to add to what I previously said.
Did what you hear today, Senator, make you more concerned about Secretary Kennedy's job performance?
Again, I'm going to wait until Secretary Kennedy has a chance to respond. I'm not going to prejudge.
And Senator Cassidy, if the vaccine advisory panel makes recommendations...
I'm sorry, I can't hear. Please.
I'm sorry. If the vaccine advisory panel makes recommendations to change the childhood vaccine schedule, should the American people have confidence in that decision?
No, because this data clearly shows that when you give the mother an option, it's not a mandate, you give the mother the option. And if she has that option, she can elect to have her child vaccinated. And we've shown that, as I quoted the data, I mean, we have decreased from 20,000 kids a year getting hepatitis B to like 20 a year. That's exponential decline. And by the way, it's not a mandate. It's just something that the mother can have should she wish.
So what should the American people do if that vaccine advisory panel changes the schedule for Hep B and other vaccines?
Well, of course, speak with their physician. Of course, the challenge of this is that insurance won't cover it. So it becomes a financial hardship. And then I can't answer that because you always have to balance the patient's pocketbook with her health. Now, if the child gets vaccinated at age 4, most likely today, because of our success at preventing hepatitis B, the child will be okay. But I can promise you, there will be some hepatitis B transmission.
So is the panel playing politics with vaccines?
Mr. Chairman, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I have one more.
Thank you. Do you believe that the witnesses were seemed truthful to you today? And second of all, I understand you're waiting for Secretary Kennedy to respond, but if a confirmation vote were held today, would you be a yes?
Two things about that. One, I'm going to let the witnesses' testimony and how they delivered it speak for itself. I don't think I have to weigh in. The American people, the whole reason we did this is because I'm here to let the American people judge for themselves. This is not partisan. This is, believe it or not, sounds naive up here, a search for the truth. But I heard from both Republicans and Democrats that they wanted to figure this out. And I'll repeat, President Trump calls for radical transparency. Hats off to the guy. So that's what we're trying to do. And your question as regards, your second part of your question, assumes that I've made a judgment. And I am steadfastly not judging until we have a chance to hear the Secretary's perspective.
Will you be calling? The Secretary has already said, but the Secretary has already said she's not being truthful. Senator, the Secretary has already said she's not being truthful.
Well, then he can come testify.
All right, thanks, guys. Thank you.
All right, guys, so we're probably
Jay,
still on our shot here. Obviously, that was Senator Bill Cassidy, who was the critical confirmation vote in putting Secretary Kennedy in that job. He's the chair of the committee there, but he's also a former doctor, and that's why many Republican senators looked to Bill Cassidy to see which way he would go some months back in this Kennedy confirmation. We've heard from Republican senators since then who have come out and said they really took their cues in this from Bill Cassidy. So Bill Cassidy is in large part the Republican senator who put RFK in the job as Health and Human Services Secretary. When RFK was up here some weeks back, he did say he had questions about his leadership. He did express some concerns. He is the one who invited Susan Menares here to testify before this committee today. But you heard him there somewhat non-committal on whether or not he still has concerns about Kennedy and whether or not he believes that RFK should be in that job right now overseeing the country's public health.
Okay, that was a great get, Jay. And we heard even Cassidy say when a number of questions were being fired at him, especially about Hep B and other vaccines, speak with your physician. So let's speak with our physician. That would be Dr. Alok Patel. What do you make of what we just heard, Doc, and your thoughts from just listening to the back and forth between lawmakers, the fired CDC director, and those that supported her?
You know, I think we can all agree that having this type of open dialogue is important as long as it's done with data and evidence. And right now, it seems like there's more confusion, and the average person may go out and question something such as the hepatitis B vaccine that has been shown to be effective and reduce how many kids are walking around with chronic hepatitis B infections. And Kira, what I really worry about are three separate categories. The first one is increased levels of vaccine hesitancy and less kids getting those routine shots heading into kindergarten. We're seeing those numbers of people missing or delaying vaccines slightly rising. Then also, as we start to question what's happening with the CDC and our public health infrastructure, as echoed in these hearings, we do have a worry about our preparedness for future pandemics, our ability to prevent chronic illnesses and take care of those who are most vulnerable. And last but not least, an important point I want to bring up, we seem to have gotten away from the fact that vaccines protect more than the individual. They protect the community at large. They protect those who may not have access to healthcare or may not be eligible for a vaccine, Kira, such as young children, the elderly, or the immunocompromised. And I will tell you, as this was streaming live, I saw a comment on YouTube, and the comment said, "I can take care of my own kids, bro." Yes, you can, but we're also trying to take care of all the children out there, such as that child who tragically died from the measles because of the fact that he caught it in infancy before the child was eligible for the vaccine. That could have been prevented.
Great point. That's why we have you, Doc. Thank you so much. And Jay, great job there on the Hill.